Everyone, I am Mariama James, the co-chair of the Quality of Life Committee, period. This is our, what's today, February 19th meeting, 2025. I am joined tonight by the co-chair of Licensing and Permits, Francis Curtis. Here's another member, so we're good. And we're going to begin today with the application for, yeah, it is a departure from our usual meeting, so people may be confused. But we're handling some licenses tonight, and we're gonna begin with 185 Duane Hideaway. I think we're joined by Gail.
Gail, hi,
Gail.
thank you.
Yes, sorry. You can begin.
Oh, how do I begin?
You're gonna make a presentation of what you're looking for.
So,
This is.
okay. So, we are looking to not really change anything that we were doing previously. We have like a really small space. It's only a 20-foot frontage. We're not gonna extend the full 20 feet because we want to leave space for the residents of the building to be able to access the curb. There is no restaurant on either side of us, so there will still be access no matter what. So we're looking at something about 17 feet long. And our seating in there, what was, and will hopefully continue to be just 2 picnic tables. So it's only seating for approximately 12 people at any given moment if sat at capacity.
2 picnic tables, 6:30.
Yeah, and that picture is a fantastic
So 3
representation.
people on
of
either
that.
side of each picnic
Yeah.
table?
I mean, you know, very often it winds up being less because people don't want to share the space. And so a couple sits down and that wraps it. Sometimes you squeeze a couple people more. It's a lot of babies out there with their parents having lunch during the weekend. And there are umbrellas that go on those tables. Other than that, that's a pretty accurate representation of what it looked like and what we are hoping it will continue to look like.
And all of the stuff is movable.
Yeah, nothing's attached. We actually don't have a floor. You would just, we don't have a floor. We go straight down to the ground with like a little bit of a lift for drainage. So there's not like a platform. So we can just pick it up out of the street and put it back in as needed. Our basement's large enough that if needed, we could remove those picnic tables and bring them downstairs. And then we will be rebuilding I guess I'm referring to them as barriers, is that, the external barriers, because we had originally built them with just plywood and filled them with sandbags, which I understand is no longer the best practices, and we're looking to have water-filled containers. So we just build that and then again, box over it with plywood. We're gonna keep it super simple and just expand like a little bit, because we're fairly small and we don't need to do anything bigger than what we're
What
doing.
was it before sidewalks?
That it was like,
Well, you said expand a little. You said expand a
just
little.
from what we're serving inside. We've got like 35 seats inside.
Got
We're
it.
gonna just do a
I
little bit
understand.
more out here. We're not looking to reinvent the
We have
wheel.
another restaurant outside. I mean, a whole nother. Yeah.
No, she's enough. She is enough the way she is.
Everybody thought like that, right? Any questions from the committee on this one?
Were there,
Diane?
the previous years, were there any problems with rodents or other vermin? Because I know the platform ones.
Knock on wood,
Okay.
no. And I will say, we do maintain ours fairly well. We've got a porter that comes every night. We've got our pest control services, but I will also say, I also had some fantastic neighbors that were really diligent about keeping our street in general very clean and maintaining their spaces as well. Everyone at Laughing Man and then also at Duane Park Patisserie, we were on it as a street, as a block. So I feel like that was very helpful. So again, knock on wood. No, we did not have a problem.
Were there any notable neighbor complaints?
Not about outside. We had always just had it cut off at 11 o'clock as soon as our kitchen was closed. And then like earlier on in the week, our kitchen closes at like 10 p.m. So even then, kind of out, we also close the bar at like midnight. So here and there, we come aside and scold people, but I never really had many complaints whatsoever. Or at least nothing that got to my ears. So nothing that got significant enough that like I got an angry email or a phone call from the management or et cetera, et cetera.
So besides this outside seating, you don't have any other outside seating?
Mm-mm.
Do you
Right.
intend to?
No, our sidewalk's way too narrow. I feel this is. I really just want to be able to accommodate like a little bit more, because like in the summer, like we're a little dark, so it's like, like in this winter, it's great because we're cozy. But in the summer, when it's nice out, it really does kind of save us during the incredibly slow season that is August, for example. And like I said, also like just kind of expands like our client base to people, children, where it's a little bit more appropriate to have them outside. And then also people with dogs, because we're really hardcore about not letting the dogs cross the threshold.
Good for you. Can we go to the hours or no?
No, it's a one question about the, platform, accessibility.
So our curb is actually extremely low, but I think that I would just have to make sure that it was ADA compliant to make sure that there was like a ramp down onto it. But other than that, we're basically the whole, it's an old curb. So the whole thing feels kind of like a curb cut. Like, yeah, there's a curb cut like at the corners. It's about that height. So we didn't really make any adjustments other than just kind of like putting a wedge to make like a very small miniature ramp previously.
I want to consider that.
Yeah, for sure.
Because and to get into the restaurant, there's
There's a ramp.
there's a ramp,
Mhm.
and then there's an ADA bathroom.
Mhm.
Bring the umbrellas to the table.
So there is a very, very, very heavy weighted base that basically lives underneath the table, which can be moved. You kind of tilt it and like roll it kind of situation, very, very heavy. And then they go down and they are screwed on two sides. We also are fairly diligent about, and again, like knock on wood, much like the rodents, haven't had a problem where we do keep an eye when we see the wind pick up or something like that, especially in Triberia, where there's all these wind tunnels. We run out and say, sorry about your shade, and like close the umbrellas and bind them back up. Sometimes we don't even open the umbrellas until somebody actually asks to have the shade, because it's nice to like, look, we're open, but then we don't have to really worry about where the umbrellas might go on their own. So again, knock on wood, and we've been lucky in the past of just kind of like being aware.
You have, where's your garbage kept outside?
So our garbage isn't kept outside, our garbage
You
is
don't have
kept
a-
downstairs.
Oh.
So now that the residents, have, can pick up, hooray. We're actually keeping their garbage can downstairs as well, and my kitchen guys bring it up. Put it on the curb, which I mentioned, like, we're actually keeping our distance a little short to make sure that we have space for that at a certain time of night for the residents to be able to place their garbage. All of our garbage goes straight downstairs into the basement until I think it's after 8 PM, but we don't bring it out until after 10 PM for our commercial pickup, which then, and then we bring our cans back downstairs before the bartenders leave in the evening, most times.
We don't need some signatures from everyone. Okay. So let's go back. Yeah, can we go to the hours then? And then, has it always been 12 o'clock, closing every day?
So we discussed it is the inside bar that has like 12 o'clock closing. It is a hard 11 PM outside. And even earlier on in the week, like you're like on a Tuesday, might be closer to like 10 PM. We kind of close it as we're closing the kitchen. So it should never really be open at midnight. 11 PM even on weekends.
Okay.
And we do not open before noon, so we're not doing breakfast, we're not waking anybody up with
Oh, yeah.
coffee service outside or anything like that.
No. Okay, well, DOT does have a hard stop at 12 AM for outside, but we, in the community, try to keep particularly the outside venues, where there's a residence like yours, down to, especially like on a Sunday, maybe like 10
10
o'clock.
o'clock.
I think that sounds great for me. Fantastic, that's no
Okay.
problem.
Okay.
I think I would like to make that a rule to just also just maintain my payroll.
Right, so you're open to 10 o'clock on Sunday?
Yeah, Sunday, I might even throw, throw Monday and Tuesday just to be cheeky.
Okay. Any other questions from the committee? Can we?
Online?
Oh, yeah, online.
Jill?
Guys? We'll call the question on this one?
Call the question?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Should I do, does it matter if I?
Should we do it again?
John, your vote?
Yes, I'm in favor.
Okay, great.
John Scott.
Any abstentions, refusals?
No, abstention recusals, no?
No.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Everyone have a wonderful evening.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Next up, if you could take a seat by the owl, is Maura.
Maura.
Maura from 259 Front Street.
It's me. Some handouts, I don't know how different they are from what you
Gave me a hard time, Ed. Keep trying, trying. Zoom.
John, we can hear you. New handouts.
They have a lot of business.
This is, this one's.
Okay, feel free to begin your presentation.
Hi, yes, thank you. Yes, we we had both sidewalk and roadway seating during the COVID temporary seating. It's been, as you see, we have a very picturesque spot under the bridge there, and it has been a great asset to us. Our sidewalks are similarly too narrow for sidewalks. We won't be proceeding with that, but only the roadway dining. We really strive to be a positive part of the community, and we have really tried to make it a picturesque garden that is, more of an asset and not a detraction to the neighborhood. We have great relations with our neighbors upstairs. We have not really had any, problems. I think my hours, we discussed this already, are listed as later. That's my inside hours. I didn't realize when I was filling it out. We've always made sure that there is nobody out there past midnight. We stop seating out there by 11. We are on on earlier nights. It's not a problem for us. We don't want to, we enjoy the good relationship we have with our neighbors, and we'd like that to continue. We have to make some changes to accommodate the new rules. We'll be losing the floor, we'll be losing the roof. We have a transformer under one end that's going to shorten our run. We have a 6 foot, now because it's long, we have to have a 6 foot break between them, so that's in there as well. The eastern portion that's closer to the river has a cutout in the curb, so it is, that's all one long one, as you can see, so it'll go be shortened and
I can't see that.
Oh, this one doesn't have the,
Oh.
we revised.
Time, like, we can't even see.
On this
how
one, you
the-
can't see
How
it.
it's set up and if there's enough space
I
between.
mean, I know the restaurant, I don't know.
Well, the DOT helped me because they found some of the clearance issues after we had submitted the drawings we had done professionally. So I'm pretty sure that we're in compliance because they did
Okay.
so for us. So
Okay.
they were very kind to help us with that a bit. So we have a manhole cover, we have a transformer cover and things like that, which we have now designed. So on one end, we have a curb cut out so that it is accessible, it is level with the street. On the other, the shorter, smaller part,
See them in here.
this.
Just. Yeah.
It's really, I guess I should have.
you gotta super zoom it.
So.
Yes,
could you
my God.
come and show us
Let's see what it is.
what's going on here?
Of course.
I can see what it is.
Doesn't mean everybody can.
Here's the transfer box. I used to.
I can see the
We have
transfer.
one corral here, we call it corral because it's down. And then we have a second one here with the 6 feet required between it. There's the transformer box here that we used to go over and we don't. It's a this side.
What's the real transformer?
Weird thing on the sidewalk.
Is it a metal?
It's like kind of a metal thing.
It's there, but you
It's
don't.
covered up for a
Oh,
while.
it's not part of the
I
rest.
think that you can move our cafe off a bit quicker than you can move the car that's gonna be there now, but, but either way, we're complying with what they've asked. And we have planters around the outside. This side is accessible already, this side will require a ramp, which we're planning to implement for accessibility on this.
Go, because the floor, it doesn't come up to the curb?
We no longer have a floor. To have a
Okay.
floor now, you have to have the removable and the
Right,
cleanable.
right.
I decided for this round, with all the new things happening, to keep
Right.
it as simple as we
Okay.
could. And, maybe the
And you're
changes
looking
will
at
want to
the
be.
curb type.
Yes, we
Yeah,
have a curb cut out here from an old use of the building that was never taken away.
So you're right by the corner, so it's right.
Yeah.
You have to go into the sidewalk.
Yeah.
I have a question about the diagram.
I don't see those tables that were against the restaurant in the picture, in this schematic, in this drawing. Are there still going to be those tables? Those
Oh,
additional?
our sidewalk is too narrow. We don't have the 8 foot clearance required on our block, once we put a table and the fence around it and all of those things that are required.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm happy to see. they're
These
not
are
there.
both,
Right.
yes, I
Like
put
that
some
little sidewalk with an umbrella right here.
right, but that is,
It's on Front Street,
yes, that is older. That's what it has been like.
and you don't intend to do that again?
No, we're not applying for sidewalk seating right now unless, we think it's a waste of time and money because we don't think we have the clearances.
Thank you.
But does it not have the road bed for the vehicular traffic and?
Yes, they made us shorten it by 7 inches or something. That was one of the other requested changes from DOT that they implemented on our final drawing. We were 7 inches too wide for the emergency.
Vehicles.
They have to be seated.
Very narrow.
Yeah, very narrow.
Very narrow.
Sure, point.
No, absolutely.
What is that number?
And so you have
Which was from?
two.
It's a measurement,
Yeah, but what is it?
5 feet, 5 inches.
Yes, because if they're more than 32 feet or something, you must have a 6 foot grade.
Oh.
Which I know the whole thing. Why? That's what I was told.
The whole.
Yes, our restaurant runs from here to the end.
Oh.
It cannot be more than 40 feet in length.
Yeah, so then you have to put a, yeah, I know, I'm not sure what goes in the 6 feet gap, but it's useful, but it's what's required.
Where's your space for when you put out the garbage?
Garbage goes, we have a garbage room inside as well, but we also have 3 of those, sealed containers that go along the side of the building away from.
And you have problems with rodents?
I mean, we're a block away from the seaport. I'm not saying we've never seen a rat in our lives, but we have a really great exterminator. Yes, I know. We have a really great exterminator. Plants a lot of mint, which I thoroughly believe helps keep them away. But
In those planters there?
yes, the planters have, and there's some pictures we've had herbs and fun things to sort of go with our theme, but also be beautiful. We attract monarch butterflies and little birdies and things. It's sort of a nice little slice of nature.
So, you can't have coverings anymore. Do you have umbrellas or anything like that?
We're gonna have umbrellas out there, yes. They're not in the pictures yet. We haven't quite. But we did have a cover. We didn't like the options for covers as much now that are more temporary, and
Right.
we have such beautiful views of the bridge. I kind of think the open roof is gonna be an asset.
28 seats.
That's what, yes.
And how many do you have the last time go around?
The last time I had 2 more tables here, so I had another 8 seats on 32, 36 episodes. Yeah.
Are the umbrellas gonna be weighted for the?
Yes, we already have those. There were along the sidewalk cafe this year because we had a covered roadway cafe. But we have very, very heavy, wonderful. And we do also, as the previous person said, we take them in or take them down, and it's bad.
And one of those seatings is for, actually wheelchair accessible.
This one is completely wheelchair accessible. We had planned on having, well, because it's got a cutout, it goes almost the whole length, like the curb comes down, we have no floor now anymore, so it's
Right.
down to the street. This one, we are planning to keep a little ramp available. I don't know, we need to have it all.
And that step up into the restaurant.
It's a side door. Try to keep it for staff only during the season when everything out. We have our meeting around the front on the Dover Street side. In Front Street side.
Okay, ready to say, no, computers.
Yes, so on our main entrance is this.
On the front, on
Here. Street.
Yeah.
Yes, but we're wheelchair accessible inside too. We have.
Your restaurant is long.
It's long and thin,
long.
yes. Yes.
Mhm.
Any other questions on this one?
On mine? We went over that.
Comment, just because I've been looking at 311 with each of these and there's not a single noise complaint.
Yeah, no, they're a great place.
It's
Well, thank
pretty
you.
impressive.
We really like to be part of the neighborhood. It's important to, I think.
Cleaned up the bridge and lit it up. It's really nice.
Yeah.
And you're not on the other side of that monstrosity they're getting ready to do. Anyway.
Talking about 100 Gold Street.
Nobody on that.
Which one's fast?
250.
No, I didn't see any. So can we call the question on this one?
Second, or something.
All in favor? I would just say everybody,
Anybody abstain?
anybody abstaining?
Aye.
Particularly.
Any questions? Anything?
Wasn't that nice? They're so big.
Well,
How are we voting here? Are we saying aye or raising our hands? Or nay or whatever?
do you support whatever you feel good with? Do you support? Yes?
In favor, John Scott.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, John.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Everyone.
Good luck. See you soon.
Good luck.
Next up is Jamie of Walkers. Could you take a seat by the owl? Got you right here. Okay. Feel free to begin your presentation.
So, I believe that we are just getting the, permit for our already sidewalk cafe. That's just right on the sidewalk of, Varric Street. We're on the corner of North Warren Varric. We're not trying to make it any bigger. We're just kind of trying to keep it the same.
Okay, and these hours, 11 a.m. to 2 a.m., are those your existing hours?
Those are just the indoor hours. We definitely don't have any more outdoor seating by about 10 PM. That's when our kitchen usually closes.
Oh.
So the 2 AM will just be, when the bar stays open until.
Okay.
Your planting, your greenery kind of is huge and it kind of fits in the way, because I mean, I've walked down there and it's kind of, it makes it kind of narrow.
We actually
So
are
I
in
think
the,
we need to move them over a little bit more.
yeah, we could
Because you
definitely
can
do
see
that.
the
Yeah.
picture.
They don't need
Where
much
they
sidewalk.
don't need much, I mean, they interfere with.
No, absolutely. I actually agree with that. We actually do have one of our staff members that will be replanting what we do have in there. So they
Okay.
definitely won't be as big as
It's
this.
big and,
Right.
yeah.
They'll be kind of like cute little flowers instead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because then trying to get past the plantings and the
And
grapes.
then right, exactly.
So it's like
Right.
not a good place to be.
No, we're definitely working on that.
Okay.
For the spring.
Just to clarify, the planters will be smaller or they will be with the bushes?
All of those like bushes will definitely be gone. I believe a lot of them have actually died since this picture.
Oh.
So we're gonna be replacing them with the pictures. And for the planters, we're just gonna kind of move them in slightly and it should be enough space to kind of open up the sidewalk for traffic.
Right, it's and because of the fact that you have the grate there, so, and a lot of people like me, I don't, particularly
Don't like
like
to
walk.
I don't like walking on that
Yeah,
either, yeah.
and so to give us a little bit more,
Right.
sidewalk would be great.
Mhm.
I would like to offer an opposing viewpoint, which is,
Okay.
so long as it's compliant space-wise, the bigger the better, as far as plantings go. Severe lack of trees in the area because of all the old bulks, sidewalks, and we'll take whatever plants we can get.
No, she said.
Yeah, we don't disagree with that. I love the plans
The
too.
type,
But
the type
pushing
of-
particularly like seniors or people with disabilities, maybe using a cane onto a grate, it can be very, very dangerous.
Sidewalk there as well.
It's
And
it's just not that big.
It's not that big.
I hear you.
These
It
are
looks
just
so
not
nice.
very successful where they died, so.
The dumpster picture, is that where the garbage goes? Did a dumpster picture?
I'm so sorry.
In the photos.
Where,
Wait, is that on the?
where's permanent?
Which is this?
Yeah, that's a permanent dumpster. Is that where you put the garbage from this?
Oh, yeah.
That's on the,
Or is that a storage
that's
place?
on the north west.
Oh,
That is actually for the residents above. We have our own, those big containers that we keep them
And you keep
downstairs
it
and stuff,
inside.
yes.
So there's 15, 16, 17, 19 seats outside.
About the tables themselves, we usually set them up in fours, but because there's usually a little bit of seating, there's a little bit of space in the cafe itself, we would be able to turn a 4 into a 6 without, going past our area.
Okay, but keeping that in mind, there needs to be, enough space for service.
Yes.
So that, but you're gonna have that obstruction there, so they won't be able to, they won't be walking on the sidewalk. I mean, yeah.
I see a comment, that said you also applied for what road bid, I don't know, whatever that
Right,
is.
no, that's what, I was gonna ask.
Oh,
So you're intending to apply for road bid?
I believe that, because we had that during the COVID, so I believe that we are hoping to do on the Northmore end, where the street is, to kind of have the outdoor cafe, which is able to come down after, I believe it's November when it comes down. That will, like, be able to take it down. Yeah,
The road bid, yeah. And how many,
that one, it's usually about 16 seats itself in there.
Yeah, that one came already, came before licensing
I'm
already.
just curious, how many seats inside?
It's just going-
Oh, inside,
He has the road bid out.
This
We-
one is already approved.
We saw that last month.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
one's already approved,
Yeah.
the roadway was also, so they're coming back with that sidewalk.
because it said, the comment said, please ask walkers to
I
provide.
believe on the inside, we can seat about 75 to 80.
So you're getting an additional bunch of people.
You know, the families there, they like to bring to the outside for the spring, during the spring and summer. And all the dogs.
I have a question, looking at the drawing, I'm trying to understand where the grates are. Is that on Northmore or is that on, Varick?
On the Varick end. Well,
Okay, okay, so people have to walk on the grates.
Yes,
No.
well, I
Can,
mean,
can the lady please answer? Do people have to walk on the grates the way you're gonna have this
No.
set up?
I
Where
would
would
say
they
that
walk?
there should still be enough sidewalk for people to walk without being on the grate. Again,
Between the grate and the flower pot, that little small stretch. People would have to walk single file, is that correct? I'm just trying to grasp.
No, I mean, I've seen probably like at least maybe 2 to 3 people on the, like, walking alongside each other that would be able to fit
Like a
on
skinny.
that sidewalk.
Yeah, because it looks from this angle, like you'd have to be single file not to walk on the grate. I'm misinterpreting that then?
Again, I think it's really just that the growth of those bushes in this picture looks a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely a lot of overhang there, but again, that won't be part of the outdoor once we finish all the new planting and such.
I do have a big concern about this because of strollers. People with canes can't walk on that. People with high heels can't walk on that. On weekends, when, you have all the brunch going on, it gets crowded. Do you have a measurement of how much walking space there is actually for the public?
Without the grades, because with the grades, it's 10 feet from the drawing.
With the grades, without the grades, how wide is it?
I got half that.
10 feet, that's what it says.
Well, the
But
grades
it's
look
like-
bigger. Wait, can
With
you go back to the
grade,
picture
10 feet.
please,
That, yeah.
of the grades?
This one.
But
Look, it looks like the grate, there's more grate than sidewalk, and that could just be.
There is.
It also doesn't, is that,
So great.
is someone talking to me? The sound's not great, so you have to, bear with me on this. Is the sidewalk flat and even?
Yes,
I would say for the most part, it's flat and even.
For the most part.
Right, I mean, there, we don't have any, there's no incline or anything there, and there, we don't have any issues in the sidewalk there where there's.
It's just two different materials that make it look like it may not be. Is that?
Correct, yes.
So this is also the conditions that have been there for 5 years at this
Wait,
point.
who's talking now? Is that somebody from the restaurant?
No,
No,
No, from the.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. So I just want to hear from the restaurant people right now, please. All right, I'm very concerned. I'm sorry, I just want to finish my statement and then you're all on. I am very concerned that people, with any working 2x2, someone pushing the stroller, that is just not enough room. And that's my final thought on that.
Who's that, PC?
Vicky?
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 Yes,
Henry?
I'm here. I have to say,
Go
I
ahead.
agree with Jill. May I say that Jill is completely right in the sense that forcing the public to walk on grades on public property to accommodate these private enterprises is not acceptable. So I completely agree with Jill, and please make that sure that the public is not inconvenienced when walking down the street. Thank you.
It's gonna be moved in.
Yeah, they have promised to move it in, but that point is well taken.
no.
No, the point is well taken, because I see the same thing that you guys are seeing. Anybody else online?
Able to provide an updated site plan showing grades and the measurements between?
I would not have that on me at the moment.
No, not right now.
Oh, yeah, I could definitely submit, yes, sure, of course.
Would that be by next week?
I could, if you, whatever date you need it by, we can have it.
It'd be nice to have.
For full board. Jared?
I want to say again, these conditions have been here for 5 years at this point. This community board has not received any significant complaints about this as an issue. There is an area of concrete sidewalk, there's an area of grades, which is an acceptable way to pass. I don't understand how we're making this sort of distinction. I just don't understand, it seems like a non-issue.
For you.
No, in general, there is, I walked that block.
We heard the people that have.
How many of the people who are commenting have actually been on that block with any regularity in any recent time? It's ultimately, it's a non-issue.
Haven't been on it regularly, but when I have,
I
been
have.
on it, I did find that a problem.
Yes,
We
a
can
lot of
agree.
people.
No,
Thank you.
And I noticed and I remember it in my head, and I had to look at the name of the restaurant so that I could remember. I said, wow, this is interesting, well, and I noted it in my,
When someone is coming in the opposite direction, also, someone has to move on to the grate. I have lived in this neighborhood for over 30 years, and yes, it is a situation. And please don't demean the statements of other people who feel otherwise. But
I don't understand how I'm demeaning it. I'm just expressing my own opinion.
no, you didn't. You said that it's a non-issue and the other
my
parents
opinion.
complained.
Okay.
I
Thanks,
agree.
Jill.
Thank you, Vicky Cameron. I agree.
okay, guys.
Any other thoughts on this in the room?
Think that we
Online.
should know, how do you feel about making note of that in the
We have to take
resolution, in the
note.
resolution?
Everything that is brought up here goes into resolution.
That will be noted in the resolution.
For what position are we taking then?
But you have to vote.
But we're gonna vote,
No, it's.
vote as to whether or not you support it. We're not gonna vote anything negative.
Right.
Right, and that people have concerns
Sure,
about
sure,
that,
yeah.
but not, that we want them to take it out or anything. That, there are some concerns about it.
Diane?
I just wanted to know how the restaurant would be able to address it. Would they be able to move the dividers or how?
We would be able to, move those, because they're not like, built into the sidewalk. So we would be able to move those in if that's what we needed to.
So instead of having 2 tables, you could take out 1 table and have one and move it over and give more sidewalk space.
If we were to move in those, planters, I believe so on the, closer to the restaurant would be our 4 tops, and then closer to those planters would be the 2 tops. So we can kind of just change those tables into 2 tops, the 4 tops, because then we wouldn't have the space in between for the service to walk. So we would just have to we would have to just take away some of the tables.
Right.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, we could definitely do that, because we have like the foldable tables and chairs.
So you'd be open to moving some of the tables so that you could move the plant, or make the.
That's another, that would probably be the better
That would
solution.
be the.
Yeah.
Yeah, make them, cause they look pretty big.
Yeah.
I mean, they're nice. Yeah, they're nice. And as Jared said, in terms of the greenery, cause we don't have a lot, it's nice to have the greenery.
Oh, yeah,
like
no,
that.
definitely, we'll definitely
However,
wanna have something there,
You
but if,
have to
yeah,
be able to,
yeah, so whether it be, moving the planters in or just getting smaller planters, we would definitely be able to accommodate that.
okay. I think that's.
Can't they just be trimmed? Or will they?
Well, it's the planter itself
And
that's too
the,
big as
and the
well, not
plants
just the
are
plant.
specific.
Yeah. I mean, we're putting so much, people are putting the city, right, so much effort into being ADA compliant, conscious of people's, needs, right? So it doesn't really make sense to do all of that for the bathroom and for the ramp and then have this thing where you can't even walk down the block. That's kind of silly. So,
It was the plant that was too large, because
Both.
that,
That's how we started out,
But
but
the
then
planter-
as we talked more.
yeah, the
it was
plant
like-
and the planter is too big.
Mhm.
that's an easy fix if it's just
Yeah.
trimming the bush. You know, what I mean?
All right, anybody else? Okay.
Wait, and you're clear about the hours, right?
Yes.
Well,
So it was 10 o'clock outside, right? You said?
10 o'clock is when we stop seating outside, yes.
So no problems with that, right? So can we call the question on this one too? The support? All in favor?
With the notice.
Yes, noted, adjustments.
Jill does a yes. John?
John Scott in favor.
Okay, great.
All right, all, it's unanimous.
No.
Vicky's not here.
And thank you for being so accommodating. I really appreciate that.
Okay, good luck.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Have a great rest of the evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Michael Kelly with Tara.
Two things.
I have two.
Yes. First is Sarah, 225 West Broadway.
Is that?
Thank
Oh,
Yeah, I didn't, yeah, it is kind of slippery. This is Tara, is this both, or is this
it's just Tara.
Tara, okay.
Oh, that one's not ours.
Yeah,
That's a different application.
Oh. This is the, oh,
I think that was the first person.
Oh, yeah, we've got like some show notes.
yeah, it's, there's some comments.
too.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So my name's Robert Hull with Mike Kelly's office. I'm here with the manager, Alex. This is a roadway outdoor seating application for 225 West Broadway Court, DBA Terra. We are an Italian restaurant, open and operating since 2017. We're located at 225 West Broadway between Franklin and White Street. There's no sidewalk cafe application. Our hours of operation inside and outside will be 11:30 a.m. to 11 p.m. Sunday to Thursday, and 11:30 a.m. to 12 a.m. on Friday and Saturday. Our street structure will be built on the other side of the bike lane in the floating parking lane. It will be 8 feet in width and 13 feet in length. There will be 8 tables and 16 seats. And we did have a shed during COVID. And just because I know you guys have the questions, for the garbages. When they're not outside, we keep them downstairs in the basement. And then when they go out, they go right out front. And if you have any questions, be happy to ask, or happy to answer.
Any questions in the room?
In terms of the hours, so outside, it's supposed to be closed at 12.
Yes,
So the last serving should be about 11.
11,
Outside.
11 p.m., yes,
Right.
of course.
yes.
So that.
Yeah, 12, it's
Have some time.
shut down, nobody outside.
Okay.
And that's Friday and Saturday. And
Yes,
everything
Friday and
else is
Saturday. Everything
11.
else is 11:30.
Right. Okay.
Is that okay with the committee for Sunday? 11:30?
I'm good with it,
I
but
don't
I know that,
We haven't given anybody else 11:30.
yeah.
It's
some
been
folks
10.
are-
We want to be consistent.
On Sunday?
Yes.
Yeah, we can do that, no
Sunday?
problem, no problem.
Okay.
When you, 10 p.m. clean or 10 p.m., we do not sell anymore.
Finish, yeah.
Yes,
The last
serving.
last evening or last
Yeah.
call?
not a problem, not a problem.
Somebody online?
An interesting, situation with that bike lane.
Inside.
Is there a photo or is
Unfortunately, I was trying to get the photos for you guys today, but our server was down most of the day, so it was an issue getting onto our files for the pictures.
Oh, got it.
Yeah,
I thought, like, you know, sir.
And,
no, I was gonna be.
one of these tables is gonna be for ADA, right?
Yes,
Probably one of the ones on the end.
yes, the end ones
The
would be the
end ones
ADA.
you'll make, and like everybody else, you're not gonna, the curb, how deep is the curb?
So we're
Are you
probably
gonna
going
have a ramp?
to, go with a company that makes them flush to the sidewalk and they can pull out. So it would be ADA.
Yeah, so just a little ramp. you're
Yeah.
gonna build.
But it have to be put in and taken out as needed because there's a bike lane there, right?
Exactly.
Oh, yes, right.
Yeah, so there would be a ramp to get in. We haven't fully figured out, but since it is the bike lane, they probably were going without the flooring, I guess.
I don't think they can have one.
because the
They
don't
can,
focus
they
live
can
in
have a
the-
type of form, but it has to be.
Well, yeah, we're gonna
Yeah.
have to be, yeah.
Yeah, so that's what we were all talking about, but it's one of those things that's, since there's the bike lane there.
There was previously some seating on the sidewalk, right, by the dock?
So we can only have now, two table of two by the windows.
Right. They were high tops, I think, right?
Exactly.
Right. And you would do that again, want to do that again, or?
Yes, because it's, if you look, I mean, if you went by, Terra recently, you can see that we have the outdoor vestibule with those two tables that are there. And, the table really does not, block anything because, I mean, we have a very large, thanks God, very large sidewalk.
Mhm.
So there is no problem. We have a lot of stroller in that neighborhood. We
Sure.
have a lot, but we never had any issue
Right.
with this.
Any other questions in the room?
Compliant with the YouTube.
I'm sorry. Everything seems to be compliant with DOT. She just looked up.
Oh, okay, because it's, so I'm just concerned about the bike lane, how the logistics would work with the bike lane, because I see that being a problem.
It's a little awkward.
So the bike lane has been here for now, I would say about 9 months, something, yeah. We never had any issue with the bike lane so far.
They have that set up on much busier streets too, you go up down some of the avenues, they have the bike lane, on Amsterdam, I think, bike lane, and then, you know, this is fairly.
It's gonna have to
Oh,
make
no, say-
way.
No.
It's really,
You'll have to cross the bike
Yeah.
lane.
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah,
Much busier.
definitely much busier as well, yes.
so you have to cross the bike lane to get to structure here, is it?
That's what I hate about them, because like you're letting like seniors out of the car
Yeah.
and they have to like basically get out into the bike lane. I can't stand that. Or into the street. Those are the places. Step into the bike lane or.
Some of the
step into
cyclists
street.
do not stop.
I know.
Yeah,
They look at you like you're the issue going across.
Yeah.
Seems not controversial to me.
This license.
This one.
Yeah. Any questions online? So can we call a question on this one?
Yes.
All in favor, anyone opposed? Everyone's in favor. Martin, you're opposed? You're in favor, okay.
I'm in favor.
Okay, thank you. All right, good luck.
All right, well, thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much. Have a great evening. Thank you.
And your next item,
Next one?
you're next again, yeah. Polinos?
Oh, no,
you're
not
good.
me, not me.
Yeah, you get it out. Alex, thank you
Have a
again.
good evening. Thank you.
You too.
These are both your plates?
No, these are both, we're expediting. We work for the client. Helping them out.
Where?
oh, it's coming.
Because of where it's located, near train station.
See extensive comments.
What's that?
Thank you.
Oh, there was a list of comments.
Yeah, there's a bold.
What am I missing? Where's that?
Quote show notes, so I can have to refer to it.
So it starts,
There.
yeah.
Okay, so this is Sidewalk Cafe application for PEC Group, DBA Peppalinos. We've been open and operating for over 20 years and had a Sidewalk Cafe license since 2003 with 5 tables and 10 seats. Due to the new rules, we have to be 8 feet from the tray pit, so we will now have 4 tables and 9 seats. We'll be using 8 feet in one section and 8 feet in the one section of the 19-foot sidewalk where there's 2 tables and 5 seats are, and 38 inches of a different section where 2 tables and 4 seats are. I'd like to ask any questions.
How come you don't have which there's a major obstruction in this area? You don't have any indication about the train station?
Is it to the right?
The train station, I don't think we're close to that one.
Is it?
There's no entrance to the AC.
We have this-
Yeah.
We're looking at this picture where there's like
Yeah.
a station.
Here, we see the station right here.
There's seating here.
Oh, yeah, yeah, right here.
What do you mean?
You don't see it?
This is a train station.
Train station?
Okay,
It's behind the church.
But
Yeah.
it's not in the
We're-
picture because
because we're like,
We're not going up
2
that
feet
far.
away. Yeah, no, we're not going up that far at all.
But we've gotten some feedback that in terms of traffic and people coming out of the train station, there's a lot of movement.
Okay.
It could be a little congested or traffic problem with them making that U-turn to come onto that street.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Vehicular traffic you're talking about?
No, foot traffic.
Pedestrian traffic on this sidewalk.
So long as there are no cars parked on the sidewalk, which is a frequent occurrence there.
Police cars.
So
Mhm.
Yeah, when I had to go over there, there was a lot of police cars parked on that
On the
sidewalk.
sidewalk.
well, it's over.
No bike lanes?
No bike lanes, no.
So how wide is it?
Martin, do you have a question?
I can't see how wide the sound.
It looked like from here, they're saying.
Morton, do you have a
They're going
question?
diagonal,
Hand
not
raised.
going through.
No, I don't have a question. My hand raised? I thought I lowered it.
It's 8 feet.
Altogether, it's 19 feet, the
Altogether.
whole sidewalk, yeah. But of course, we have that tree pit right there, so we have to leave the 8-foot clearance. That's why we had to angle our sidewalk cafe very strangely. Because we had to leave that circumference.
This comments a 10-foot clearance from
Yeah.
from the tree bed.
Yes,
No,
from the tree bed that we have that
Yeah,
10
the
foot
only
clearance.
problem.
So,
Yes.
Okay, got it. Yeah, yeah.
We can't do anything about that.
Nothing.
Okay.
So-
And
How the DOT
That's
considers
an interesting
the
solution.
tree beds.
So
I
from
didn't realize-
the map,
Oh, yeah.
In the circle.
Google Street View,
Okay.
this will have like,
Yes,
Cutout,
that's not gonna be there anymore.
it's gonna be like a
There-
crescent space.
Yes,
Okay.
which I hope, we're also hoping that it, with that crescent shape, it opens up a little space for people to walk and not have to step in the tree bed or,
Yeah. Cause that's the whole purpose of this change.
yeah. Just it
So the
is very,
change was made based on
very
this
strange
comment.
one.
Well, this change was made because of the tree pit, so what they had previously, the rules changed, so that the tree pit counted as an obstruction, so they needed to create a radius around the tree pit that is 8 feet.
I'm not very good
Is
at
that correct?
Yeah.
visualize from looking at blueprints and then seeing what it actually, I need to.
Yeah, no, those are old photos, when they had the COVID seating up where it was like old was applied for.
Sufficient distance, they don't have
So this answers, this is what you're saying, what he's saying.
I actually didn't read.
Right, and the subway face, the exit faces away from them.
This was, I don't know who, I think this is the other, I don't know who made these comments. This is the other committee. They were in our emails.
Your fellow,
Board member
board member
who lives in the area.
Okay.
who does not want to meet.
Okay.
Oh, my.
So there's been a suggestion here
Yeah.
from these board members. Perhaps a single row of 2-seaters against the stair wall.
So, it's good. To put this.
But the commenter has not seen this presentation, correct? I mean,
Cause what we
Yes,
technically
they
have
have,
is
it's the same thing.
and it does say the 24 by 24 on those tables, they are gonna be a little smaller. It's,
Okay.
we're not going with those measurements on those tables.
So they're gonna be smaller tables?
They are gonna be smaller tables, yes.
Oh,
but I guess the question is, in this picture, this boundary line is not representative of this boundary, correct?
No, that was the old COVID boundary line where they were allowed to do really whatever.
Right.
This is, we're going by the DOT rules on this one. That's why we had to make that crescent shape.
What were the hours?
The hours are going to be.
10 p.m.
something says, what's the time, is it 10:30? Here.
10 and 10:30.
Yes, 10 and 10:30.
So that would be Sunday to Thursday for those online or those in the room. 10 p.m. and Friday and Saturday, 10:30.
So the suggestion is being made by another board member is if you could take the table with the 3 and put it on the side by the stairs.
3 with, okay,
I don't space.
Yeah.
But again,
that would actually make it a little harder and would probably,
again, these comments were made without the benefit of having seen this, which seems to largely address the bulk of the concerns that are raised here.
I agree.
And the tables are small.
Did we find out what's gonna happen with the garbage? Garbage cans, where are those going?
Are those your garbage cans? Whose garbage cans? are
Everybody's
those?
garbage cans.
In the photos,
Yeah.
likely there is. Can you show me the photo? I don't have.
Sorry.
There's 5 of them,
So
right?
that's the old one.
I believe those are the residents. Because those ones aren't ours.
Hmm.
Because I was told what we do is we keep them inside,
Okay.
downstairs.
I mean, they do look commercial, but they could also be the bar next door. It's
Mhm.
impossible to know.
Because the comments said including the location of their
They're
garbage
kind of
cans,
far
but
away from
they're
it.
not their
Well,
garbage.
it
Yeah.
looks like, I mean, covering this, that it is part of the bars building.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
And you're gonna have that, the same kind of fence up that's in this picture?
That wooden fence?
Yeah.
No. Just because it would make it a little harder to have that crescent shape and take up space. So we're not gonna be having that wooden fence up.
What all you have?
Probably gonna do stanchions.
Oh, with like rope?
Yeah.
Okay.
Rope for the pole ones.
Mm-hmm. Those are easy to pick up and take
Yeah,
away, too.
you can
That's a
bring
good
them
idea.
inside and it gives you that space where you can
Yeah.
make sure you have the space.
Mhm.
Needless to say, you're not considering a roadway.
No,
That's not funny.
unless they call us and say they wanna try, but
This would be a great spot for that.
yeah, this one was an awkward one altogether.
Can we call the question?
Second.
All in favor? Okay, online, all in favor?
John Scott in favor.
Question, has anyone,
With, pardon?
has anyone been in the public signed up to speak about any of these?
No.
I mean, I think that sort of says a lot. Yeah.
I would like, maybe to put in the resolution that we did discuss with the applicant, the possibility of changing the tables around, but
But I would say, I would add.
because of the
Updated
exterior,
drawing with the crescent.
it wouldn't be feasible.
Seems-
Okay, just put
Well, it
that-
seems to have been addressed already.
Yeah.
How I would word it. But-
Yeah, well, when we did the measurements, we made sure to measure it from every single spot, and then we went back and brought it to, someone to draw this up, and we explained to them all the rules, and we had all the rules out on the table pretty much. And we tried to make sure everybody knew what was going on and how this had to be.
Mhm.
If the architects were doing like they did with last week, with the 120 tables, they were just trying to jam as many in there as possible, and we're like, no,
Yeah,
no, don't do that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Of course.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Guys have a great night.
Thanks.
Next up is Gina with Serafina Tribeca.
You know, with Serafina.
That's the one.
Actually,
Gina.
Hi.
Kevin and Steve with you?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Doing first.
Okay, perfect. So Serafina,
Do you need Kevin and Steve with you? With Serafina?
you can put Kevin if you want. Steve, I think he's not online anymore.
Thank you. Okay, please, feel free to start with Serafina Tribeca.
Okay. So for this application, we have a sidewalk and a roadway. Tonight we're reviewing both of them. For the roadway, we have 84 seats with 2 ADA accessible seats. And for the sidewalk, we have 72 seats.
What?
Wow. Okay, let's start with the
a
road.
lot.
We're beginning with the roadway first.
Okay.
4 seats. How many seats do you have inside the restaurant?
Let me confirm that with Kevin.
We don't have any pictures. We just is down.
It's 130 something.
Just outside.
New bathroom.
It's a large venue outside.
And there's an upstairs.
I don't think you can.
Yeah, and then there's an upstairs.
How many toilets do they have?
And it's two, well, I mean, it's two separate kind of roadway pathways.
That matters.
Yeah, we
If it's-
separate the space into two sheds,
It's not supposed to be.
for
six, the whole-
Broadway Street, because yeah, they have a long facade.
Free share, you know?
Gina, is it supposed to be a 6 foot separation?
It is.
No, when you have a 40 feet length in a roadway, you need to put a 6 feet separation in between roadways. But if it's less than 40 feet, you can have 3 feet for the separation.
Okay, we're gonna look at that too on this end.
And there's
Not
one on
familiar
Green
with that
Street as
one.
well.
I don't know how to, I mean, it's basically a large venue outside on the sidewalk.
That's criteria for.
Can we not separate the two and talk about the totality first? Because like, we're talking about the sidewalk, this thing,
Mhm.
in addition to the roadway.
Well, right now, we're only talking about the roadway.
Oh, I understand that, but I think it would be helpful to get a full scope of what's being asked here.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you, because I'm already thinking about the number of people in totality, like you said. So for inside venues, we use the Department of Buildings guidelines, and they constitute a large venue at 75 people. This is talking about over 130 people outside on the sidewalk and in the street. I don't know how to necessarily go about addressing that.
Well, I mean, I guess the question is, my first question, I guess, we're talking about the roadway or the sidewalk or the whole thing?
Roadway first.
Roadway first.
So the comments that we need to put in, we need to put in comments for roadway.
Right.
It's a separate form, and then comments for the sidewalk, which is a separate form. That's why we can't do them necessarily together, but you can discuss them together.
Right, so I guess my question is, unless I'm mistaken, there's an element of the sidewalk shed that's still there at the moment, is that correct? Online?
Sorry? No, the sheds were taken out already. Actually, if you go to Google Maps, they don't appear anymore.
The sidewalk ones, the ones on the sidewalk?
No, the sidewalk hasn't been removed.
Because not only is it sidewalk, you see.
Is that not required at this point?
Covering, what do you call that?
So it's an enclosed space, but
It's an enclosed space on the sidewalk.
All right, can you explain, we're looking at pictures.
Uh-huh.
And there's a clear, transparent, enclosed space on your sidewalk attached to your building. Is that still there?
Yes, that's still there on the sidewalk.
Is that going to remain there?
They will have to remove it because it's against the regulations.
Okay, that's what we thought, and that's what we're trying to get at.
Why is it still there?
Right, why is it supposed to come down?
Yeah, it's supposed to be.
So we could have had a picture of it being empty.
Well, I will need to talk to the owner of the restaurant and ask why they haven't removed it, but they will have to remove it.
Actually, wait, one of the. Let me just check. Let me just check. Just a minute. Four. So the roadway, even the roadway of plastic done. Yes, the roadway has to be done today. And I can check for the side. So.
The road, I mean, the parts, it's problematic because it's still on this here, well, there's no, sorry. Good. Then we'll postpone the final.
So
Just for general information, the question that you had in regards how many people it's inside, it's allowed, it's 200.
So effectively, more than 50%, doubling by more than 50% of your indoor capacity is gonna be outside.
Well, that's the plan, but we understand that there will be some modifications.
Well, yeah, public space.
but do you know how many bathrooms you have?
That's,
How many bathrooms are in the restaurant, please?
Let me ask and I'll confirm.
Thank you.
All right, sidewalk-based outdoor dining setups that meet program guidelines may continue to operate year-round. Roadway dining season will resume on April 1st, 2025. So sidewalk, assuming that structure that exists there is compliant. I think it's an open question.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it is.
Except an awful lot of sidewalks. And I think they even mentioned that there's a grate and the bicycle rack.
Because the grades here are raised, so you can't actually walk on them.
No, that's true.
Okay,
But
so
it,
the
but it
bicycle-
makes less space, sidewalk space. though.
Right, no, that's what I'm saying, unlike the other one, where it's agree with that here, you can't, cannot actually walk on this.
who put that, is that the city
To
or?
the city. There's a couple of places, I mean, an interesting idea.
Yeah, but.
It's like making subway grates into.
There's seats on the subway grids in case you want to sit on top of the subway.
Be like Marilyn Monroe or something.
The race thing makes sense because of flooding and the bike thing, it's actually a good place for the bike
Yeah.
thing, but
They have 3 restrooms, all gender,
Three toilets?
Three.
Or
plus the ones for the employees.
So there's 2 bathrooms for the general public and one for the.
3. 3 for the general public and the ones that are for only employees.
Okay.
Are those 3 stalls or 3 individual bathrooms?
Individual bathrooms because they are all gender, so they are separate.
Are they all ADA compliant? All 3?
Let me ask. I guess one of them needs to be ADA, but I'm not sure if the 3 of them are ADA.
Just to be clear, there's like 3 stalls, right? Just 3 people,
Toilets.
3 single person bathrooms.
3
3
single.
individual
3
bathrooms.
separate doors with a single toilet on each.
Thank you. For how many total people?
200.
Well,
200 inside and then if they.
200
Inside.
Almost 100 outside.
100 plus
130
outside.
something outside.
300 people we're talking about.
I hope somebody maintains and cleans.
200 inside and 100 outside.
130 outside.
Yeah, the 3, if it's 3 bathrooms, total, it should only be able to cover 225.
Yeah, they need more bathrooms.
Oh, no, that can help us get rid of some people. Get rid of some
Yeah,
tables.
there's no way you could have a venue like that with
it
3
seems like
bathrooms.
everyone is saying that this feels like an excessive ask.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. When I saw this and I started counting all the seats, I said, I sent an email to Tammy and I said, this is the place that wants 50 seats.
More than 50.
More than that.
More than double that.
No, I'm not feeling comfortable.
But these are separate, right? And they seem open to working with us, so.
I'm waiting on the response on the ADA bathroom, but as soon as I got it, I'll let you know.
Thank
Now,
you.
answer me this. Well, how did you come to that number of seats outside?
What do you mean? How do we come with this number?
To maximize the camping.
How was it determined to attempt to put 130 seats outside?
Well, we feed as many tables as we could, to be honest. But as I said before, we're open to, we know that there are gonna be some changes.
How many did you have before?
Before, during COVID,
Yeah. For the
Um,
roadway, for the roadway. Roadway.
They did.
Let me confirm that. The main bathroom on the main floor, it's ADA. And 3 bathrooms are upstairs, which are not ADA.
Thank you. How many,
I'm asking that. It's for the public. 35 on the sidewalk and 80 on the roadway.
So that was a very different time.
Mm-hmm.
How much did they asking for?
they're asking for more than that now?
Almost double.
Like, people were more generous then, because like you said, it was a different time.
Yeah.
Right.
I would, as a starting point, I would say the ones on the more residential street, Reed Street, is not something new that we should do.
So first to share with the committee, based on the number of bathrooms and Ned's looking at the regulations, she brought it up a few minutes ago, for 200 people, is the 3 bathrooms. That's the capacity. So that 200 people is the capacity for 3 bathrooms.
Just to clarify, there sounded like there was 1 on the ground floor and 3 upstairs. Is that inclusive of the employee bathroom or?
I think that was separate from the employee bathroom, but only 1 ADA compliant one. Is there anything additional with regard to?
But we should get clarity.
No, we gotta get clarity, because she said 3 before, now she's
Right.
getting 4.
There was a reference to 1 bathroom on the ground floor and 3
Yes,
upstairs. Are those all publicly accessible or, customer accessible?
Yeah, I'm sorry. They just confirmed that they have 1 bathroom that is ADA on the main floor and 3 upstairs that are not ADA.
That all are customer accessible.
Apart from the employee.
Not
They have the employee's bathroom aside. It's additional.
In addition to the 4, not 3,
In
correct?
addition to the 3. huh?
Yeah, but that's only for employees.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
Okay.
so 4 for the public altogether and 1 for.
We're just trying to make sure that we're clear, because earlier you said that, or they said, whoever said, that there were
Yeah.
3 bathrooms that are accessible to the public. So now we're saying there's 4. Is
It's
that
4.
correct?
1 ADA and 3 that are not ADA.
Okay. Is there any regulation with regard to the number of ADA for the number of people? Okay. So we're,
Because also ADA is the only one that's on the main floor, so if you
right, so
want to go
if more
upstairs.
than 1 person that needs that is around, that could be a problem, but there's no regulation for that, she said. Okay, so for 4, with 4 bathrooms, the total number of people that they can have outside is 74. So we can start from there and make any further.
Okay, so you're suggesting that the maximum amount is 74
That part's
for
not
the
the
outside?
question, that part is the regulation.
Okay.
So we need you to
Okay,
So-
so what if we start?
Said 85 outside? You said 85 outside, right?
84.
84, okay, so,
get rid of
so we gotta get rid of at least 10 seats outside in that.
Okay, so I think the most viable option would be to eliminate the shed that is on Reed Street, which has 4 tables, meaning 8 seats.
I'm looking at those.
And
Are the Reed Street ones, now I'm looking at this index, are those meant to be the ADA accessible tables?
no, we can leave the ADA accessibles. We have them right now on Broadway.
No, Jared, look up there. These are the ADA tables.
Oh, yeah. You know, 1 in there.
See that?
Oh, wait,
Here?
you're pointing.
Here?
Okay. So how is the street furniture that exists West Broadway and the bike lane? Like, what are the actual mechanics of that?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand the question.
Of impassable street furniture on one and plane, what are the mechanics of somebody who is,
How do the waiters to
hasn't,
the people?
well, no, how does somebody with a mobility device navigate all of this furniture, the bike lane, to get to the seats?
I'm sorry, the connection is breaking up, but I am kind of understanding like how are the people in wheelchair going to enter to the roadway?
Yeah.
Well, because you have, unlike some of the other applicants tonight, you have raised,
Platforms. Yeah, but in
Right,
here,
yeah,
since
raised.
it's on the roadway, it cannot be raised. It has to be flush with the road.
Right. What I'm asking is, you have bicycle stations, parking meter, and a bike lane for somebody in a mobility device to get to the seating. How do you envision that?
Well,
Or-
they have a cut curve on the corner, and the crosswalk is for people to walk, and wheelchairs are accessible to go through there. Plus, between the bicycle line and the parking spot, you have an empty area that the
But is
wheelchair
it-
can go through it.
And there'll be a ramp down from the sidewalk at the parking meter gap?
I mean, I don't know if you can put like legally a ramp in there because you will be obstructing the bicycle line. The most optimal option will be for the person on the wheelchair to go through the cut curve and then go inside the roadway.
So they'll only be able to come in one end, the north side, the north end.
And then they'll have
One by Reed Street. So where you have them now, you have to change them because they're only gonna be able to come through one way.
Should we maybe discuss a proposal?
Maybe what
down
we
to-
can, I'm sorry, maybe what we can do is put the two seats that are on for ADA accessible on the first shed, so they don't have to go all the way along to the other one.
So what you were,
That's something to think about. But I was proposing to the committee, if we want to think about, she said previously during COVID, they only had 50 seats in the roadbed.
oh, okay.
So right now, we're talking about, we
They
just
want
took it from 84 to 74, but based on the regulation.
And the reason that we have.
Maybe we should consider cutting an additional 24, and then we wouldn't have to worry, have these other concerns. Put them back to what they were at COVID time.
I make a motion that we consider cutting it back
Okay.
to the original.
Original seating.
And the way to do that would be to remove the Street one and this little one.
Right, because the reason for the outdoor was because of COVID, not to increase your bottom
Real
line.
estate.
And you're taking up more public space.
How does everybody feel about that? Yeah, okay, so that's what we're gonna discuss. Jill, online?
Online?
Jill, John, and Morton.
So I just wanted to be, you guys heard what we were talking about. There was an original proposal from the client, the presenter, to have 84 seats in the roadway. Nash looked up the regulations, and based on the number of bathrooms that they have, it looked like they need to go down to 74 seats. And then we asked how many,
74 persons or 74 people per bathroom.
okay, but we're talking, but we moved on, we already voted just now.
Are they still doing the sidewalk as well?
Another letter finished.
We inquired as to how many seats they had during COVID in the roadbed, and that was 50.
Is that correct, you know? 50 roadway?
I have here 80 on the roadway, 35 on the sidewalk.
No, during COVID.
Yeah, during COVID.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I misunderstood before.
They had.
So if it's 74 people per toilet,
Also, I'm sorry, the manager is telling me that the hotel that is next to the restaurant connects on the interior through a ramp, and they let them use also their ADA bathroom.
You really don't, and that's not supposed to be allowed. You're not supposed to be able to share. I remember that part.
Okay.
Everybody has to have their own.
It's not considered.
They can do that, but it's not considered.
We're talking about 330 total people in the original presentation. Right? Divided by. What's that?
Yeah.
It's 82.
And a half. Only cover 296.
People.
So if we have
So that means
inside, outside, over 296, you gotta put extra.
the extra's really just 34.
Does the 200-person capacity include the rooftop?
The rooftop? Let me ask.
Because we're talking about rooftops.
DOB, what the occupancies.
200 people.
What is the occupancy allowed? Per DOB.
I think almost regardless, it's still excessive.
Oh, yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah.
This restaurant and the first one we had. He said, we're not trying, we just, trying to have a little bit more space outside. You know, so we can.
Is this place already a large venue? Like,
Yes.
we already consider it a large, okay.
Yes.
These people, and then they have another one on Broad Street too.
Yeah. they-
Oh, right.
Broadway.
Yeah.
At least have one. I
I
think
think the
good
first
one.
one. They started in the 80s on Upper West.
She turned on? But we were check on something?
Yeah.
Rooftop capacity.
So the capacity is 98 on the main, 105 on the second floor, and 65 on the rooftop.
Oh.
Now, how much is that again?
98 on the main floor,
Uh-huh.
105 on the second, and 65 on the rooftop.
268.
This is without the roof bed.
So that means they can only have, if the max for them is 296, then 296 minus 268 is whatever, some number that I couldn't possibly figure out off the top of my head.
They're up to 268 just from the inside of the restaurant.
And including the roof.
So they're only,
So they only get about 30, 30 seats more.
And they had 50.
Yeah.
Not 100 and-
do we want
Sorry for that. I didn't have that number.
sidewalk seating for that 30,
Mhm.
whatever?
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't.
Oh, so like if they had, if, what would we prefer? Would we prefer that seating on the sidewalk or would we prefer?
But how much of that, 260, how much of that 268 is sidewalk?
Line, but that's me.
Well, none of the 268 is sidewalk. The 268 is indoor with the rooftop.
How many is the sidewalk?
So that only allows them to
I'm
28
more serious. How many did they have on the sidewalk?
Oh,
The application?
Yeah,
Right now, on the proposal, it's 72.
the sidewalk,
Uh-huh.
not road bed, sidewalk.
yeah.
Sidewalk, yeah. Back in during COVID, they had 35.
Oh, they had 35 during COVID though? Because that's around the number that you are with toilet.
Well, no, it's 35 just for the sidewalk. There was also a road bed limit in the.
Well, yeah, but right now, like, we're just focusing.
So yeah, we're looking at, based on the number of toilets that you have, how many seats you can have outside.
Okay.
So plus these numbers, 90, plus 105, plus 55. That's a total of 28 for the interior. And the toilets cover 296 people. So 296 minus, yeah. 300 minus what was that, the 268 minus 270 is 30 seats that you could have outside in total, based on the number of bathrooms.
That includes roadbed and sidewalk, 30 seats.
Okay.
So do you want it on this?
So you want it on
Stipulation, this is not DOT, this is not SLA, this is DOB. Okay. 74 persons. So Onesh has clarified for us that it's a DOB regulation on which is based. This is based, not DOB or anyone else. SLA, Department of Buildings.
It's just reasonable.
What are your, did you?
Yeah, like,
It's like, rather have the.
what was our suggestion? You want sidewalk?
I think they should keep, I think they already have the sidewalk, they should keep the sidewalk with the 30 seats, drop the roadbed. And that would be better for the public, because then they don't have to lose all the parking or whatever else is there.
And the
I
bicycle.
want to, I mean, I actually think they should be able to determine their own custody.
I'm gonna tell them how to do it. What I would.
My question is,
Yeah.
the structure that's there on the sidewalk.
Right.
Great to know if that's conserved.
It doesn't look like, it looks enclosed.
But it doesn't matter, that's DOT approved it. We have nothing to do with the
It's
structure.
not approved yet, the structure is not approved.
Okay, that's not us, we don't have to worry, we just.
Well, but I think we're talking about sidewalk in the other instance a lot. It takes up a substantial chunk of the sidewalk. And
Does it look that big?
I mean, it's a chunker.
It's a chunk.
Small, but I don't, it's,
No, but that sidewalk
you don't
is,
have to be single file. of
yeah,
degree.
that sidewalk is pretty big.
It's pretty straight. This time.
That particular.
I think that's better than
Then-
pedestrians having to fight the bike lane and the wheelchair having to go down the block to get into the restaurant.
Walkers and canes. But I think
But
it's,
this is a structure taking up. No, it's
But it's
not.
already taking it up though.
That's no, it's outside what everything else is supposed to be, because it's not supposed to have enclosed, it's not supposed to have.
Right, but we're-
Yes, it has to change.
Yeah. So, okay.
Well, I think
Mention that.
that's.
So, sidewalk,
What should it look
the
like?
maximum height excluding plantings must be 2 feet 6 inches
That's,
and must be removable.
that.
John, you have a question?
Yes, I think, can we, I think there's consensus that this is a little bit too much. We want them to come back with less numbers, and I think we need more information. I mean, it doesn't make any sense if you have all these people and they can't go to the bathroom. There must be a health department rule, and I'm not familiar with the laws, but I think this is a little bit too massive. And I think we should table this and let them come back with some other numbers, and let's study this before they come back.
So you're 1,000% right that it's too big, but it can't be tabled. Oh, Nash, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, no, you can.
Can't be tabled?
It can't be tabled, no, we already looked into that. The only one that can be postponed is the sidewalk, but now we determined that they only get a total number of 30 seats, whether they put them in the sidewalk or the roadbed. So that may be a non-issue at this point. I'm saying we may not need to postpone the sidewalk or anything, because we're gonna make a determination right now.
Good, anyway. You know.
Well,
That's the only
anyways,
problem.
this application is gonna go to public hearing because it's a roadway.
parking area. You just have to make sure that
Yeah, well, yeah, you can take it wherever.
That's what you
We
want.
have to base our, vote here as to whether or not how our resolution is going to go on the regulations that are set forth. So you can take it further if you're not happy with that, but that's what we have to do.
But they have.
Yeah, I understand.
So, yeah, if you could make a,
This amount.
you can tell us with the 30 seats that we're saying are allowable based on the regulation, where you.
Yeah, but that's based on DOB regulations and that's separate from DOT. On DOT regulations, there's nothing saying that we should base our sitting on bathroom capacity.
Right, so that's what you're gonna argue at your hearing. But here tonight, so that we, for the purposes of us being able to come to a resolution and to vote on it for you, where do you prefer those seats to be in an enclosed, not enclosed, in your sidewalk
Or road.
or in the roadway? Onesh.
I have a suggestion. Since we have time for the sidewalk and to deal with the sidewalk, I suggest we just deal with the roadway for now and ask if they want to actually put any of these seats on the roadway and then vote on that. And then we'll come back to sidewalk afterwards. Because this has to go through, the council anyway.
Yeah. I think another way to frame it though is regardless of what the DOB says, regardless of what the DOT says, this is ultimately about a resolution from this community board supporting it or not. And so if there's a desire for a resolution of support, this board is prepared to support up to 30 seats.
And the applicant, and giving the applicant the choice whether they want roadbed or.
It's either, just focus on roadbed.
So let's make them, if somebody's willing to, right, a motion to do just that and to postpone, the sidewalk application.
Okay, so make a motion. That the committee.
Right, sidewalk can be postponed. This one can't, has been voted on today.
What's the wisdom behind postponing it?
It depends on how much time that we have, like when we got them. DOT just sends it to us whenever they're finished reviewing it. They give us a deadline.
No, I know, but I'm asking, what is the wisdom for our?
Because her client is unwilling to give us any kind of parameters as to where they'd like to have those seats. So we have to only limit the seats on the application that we were discussing, and that's the roadbed.
And they might be able to come in and actually have a discussion for the sidewalks. You didn't think they had
Well, I guess the question is, if we say we would support up to 30 seats in the roadway, and then when we eventually deal with the sidewalk, and we're saying.
Then those of us that voted that way have to vote the other way. We recommend that there not be any additional seats because we already allocated them all to the roadway.
Oh, that would, okay, so that would give Anish time to dig into the.
Yeah, I'll say exactly what, like how much we could push or pull for them, for us.
So what do we think?
So a way to find a workable solution where they have outdoor seating would be to postpone the sidewalk for now. Have a resolution about the roadbed.
We could have a positive, supportive resolution
So long as it's
about
for
the
30
road.
seats. But if we do that,
Recommending only 30 seats based on the law.
then when the sidewalk shows up.
And based on the law, and we should say also there was the sentiment, right, of the members that it was just too much anyway, but all of that should be in there, not just that it's the law.
You know, we thought it was excessive.
I do
Yeah,
think
we
we should,
thought it was excessive.
I think it's fair to wait on the sidewalk if that gives them more time to figure out what they want.
Mm-hmm.
Gina, I just sent you a question in the chat.
Oh, let me see.
Okay, so the committee is deciding to. Make a motion.
Doing something.
Um,
So the minimum they had during COVID for roadbed was 80, but he wants to prioritize sidewalk. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, guys, what do you want to do?
So do,
The client says that the lowest number that they're prepared to agree with the committee for the roadbed is the lowest number of seats is minimum that we had COVID, which is 8 for the roadbed. But he's also saying that the side, you have to choose between the two sidewalk.
If they eliminate the roadway, but they decide to keep the sidewalk, can they keep the 72 seats on the sidewalk?
and a positive one on the sidewalk?
Well, can you repeat that, Gina?
If they eliminate the roadway,
Uh-huh.
can they keep the proposed seats on the sidewalk on the application?
How many was that?
72?
72.
No. So, but we have time. So if we put aside the road bed, then it gives Inej time to figure out what they're allowed for the sidewalk
But
too.
we still have the law though, so we.
Well, I thought she was gonna look into the law, right? Am I getting that wrong?
Yeah, but like, I know it's the 74, because like, I deal with liquor all the time,
Okay.
even with outdoor seating. But yeah, if there's like some other information out there, I don't have a.
Why wouldn't we just propose, make a positive resolution given alternative, up to 30 seats in the roadway in the event that they do not elect to do a sidewalk as well, up to 30 seats.
Well, because we gotta do two.
Right,
There's two applications.
Saying up to 30, and then for the sidewalk one, up to 30 seats, either 15 seats with the roadway or 30 seats in the event they elect not to. Why can't we offer?
And that's fair.
Is that clear to everybody?
Okay, so we're saying yes to 30 seats wherever it is that they
Choose
whatever fit. And so we would need to align both resolutions to that. So we could do both today if we say that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, I think that's
We
great.
could do both
Right now.
in one resolution. Well, we have to have two resolutions.
So we need two, because we have two.
Mirror each other.
Okay, and then,
I can combine the resolution, I can combine the comments.
but then the applicant wants more.
They can't have that because.
No, so, but we just wanted to make sure that we put in a number. that
Is there a number additionally that we would support beyond the
No.
the law if it was workable?
Yeah,
No.
what's the top number?
I don't.
I thought the top number was.
I thought it was
Yes, the client is willing to go down to 40.
Well, I mean, it's,
Each look-
I don't know that it matters because if it only allows 28.
Sidewalk, because that's what I was asking.
If they build another.
So we could say something like if there is something that allows them, right? If there's some sort of caveat in the law that allows them to have 40, the committee would agree to that as well.
Wait a minute.
That's you. Exactly.
Just heard yourself.
If a committee member is like, if I'm in favor of the sidewalk, I'm not in favor of the roadbed, would I just vote no for the resolution then?
For the road ban. Because we're gonna have two separate votes, right?
You'll have to have two separate.
Oh, but if you say no to the resolution, then you're just saying you don't support the resolution. It's not that you don't support.
Yeah, it's not that you don't support the cafe. So you don't support the resolution.
Resolution about it. And if we don't put a resolution out there, then they can just do whatever without our input.
Mm-hmm. So do we want to go with Jared's suggestion? That we're willing to go up to that number of seats? And do we want to add this extra caveat that if there is something that allows them to increase the number, we can meet them at the 40 they're requesting, or no?
The 40 total is the 40. So
40 instead of the 30 that you guys were discussing.
But is that?
Yeah, but the owner is telling me that they would rather have 40 on the sidewalk and eliminate the roadway. Just the sidewalk.
With them then.
I'm also fine with that. Like, I like sidewalks.
Okay, so can we just vote on that, eliminating the roadway and 40 people on the sidewalk?
That's what they want, and that's what.
The applicant has, after much discussion, the applicant has decided to withdraw the roadbed.
Is that being said though?
They're not saying that they're.
She's shaking her head, yes.
Okay.
Can you voice it for the committee, please?
Yes, yes. The owner will withdraw the application for the roadway if the 40 seats are approved for the sidewalk.
It's what, how many seats, sorry, there are a lot of numbers thrown around. How many seats are on the sidewalk currently?
72.
Like a win?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think, and
Yeah, we
So withdraw the roadway and agree to 40 on the sidewalk.
Okay, so can we call the question on this one?
do we need a resolution for the withdrawing the?
No, can we just say that the applicant has decided to withdraw?
Would that
There
be-
were two presented, and the applicant decided to withdraw the roadbed.
Should be that you don't agree with what they were asking for in the application, in the roadway application.
Yeah, there were
Two for the 40.
Okay,
Side-
so,
sidewalk.
Yeah, but they withdrew it.
yeah, so if,
Well-
will we need a
So
resolution that
what are we
says
not
they
agreeing
We
with?
should still memorialize it.
We're not agreeing with what they presented to us.
Yeah, but we are agreeing
And
with
then we'll
what we've
just
negotiated.
stipulate in the resolution that they also agreed not to move forward.
Not to present.
Till after much discussion, yeah, but you gotta present what they presented in the beginning, what it was.
After,
This
and
is
everything
what-
that they asked for.
Got it. Okay.
And after much discussion, they decided to withdraw that, and the committee is recommending and
We'll support.
will support.
the withdrawal.
40.
The additional 10. We'll support the withdrawal and additional 10 seats.
10 seats for the,
If they're legal.
if they're, right, if.
Right, assuming
Yeah.
it's okay with the Department of Buildings.
I think that's a really good compromise.
Okay.
All right, so
Gina?
can we call the question on this one?
Members of the public.
That's a one person.
Gina, you good?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Can we call the question on this one?
Second.
We have to do both of them? Or we can do
If you want to get them together, I'll just double the vote.
Well, Diane's not in favor of one, so yeah, we'll take them back to back.
Back to
She
back.
wasn't in
Wait,
she wasn't
I
in favor of the roadway, which.
But they're,
Which is withdrawn.
yeah, so it's fine.
Oh, okay. Yeah, all right,
So
then.
you're in
We
favor?
can take it together.
Okay.
All right, so all in favor of this, you,
Negative resolution for the roadway, positive regulation with caveats for the sidewalk.
For the
Yeah.
sidewalk, the 40 seats.
Right.
All those in favor? Okay. All right.
any opposed?
Abstentions.
Abstentions, recusal.
Everybody voted.
Okay.
All right, Gina, I'm gonna follow up with you later this week, regarding the, like, specific language that's gonna be.
Okay,
Okay?
okay.
Thank you.
We still have.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
We still
All
have
right,
30
so
minutes.
now Serafina Express, are you ready to do
Oh.
that?
Was it the same?
Yeah.
Broad Street one and.
Yeah.
These are only 3 tables, guys, for the sidewalk. There is no roadway application.
Wonderful. What are the hours on this one?
Hours, let me confirm.
You have
It's due
Three tables.
all the elections, every election.
When's the scaffolding coming back?
Right.
Go down.
10:30 a.m. to 10 p.m., Monday to Sunday.
Because here on this,
Yeah,
on
this
this
is
says
11
11 to 11.
Can you repeat that?
10:30 a.m. to 10 p.m., Monday to Sunday, the whole week.
So it's different from the,
It's a different location.
Great.
Well, we're looking at,
we're looking at the 30 board.
yeah, so on this, this thing, it shows 11 to 11.
Yeah, don't consider that.
Okay.
Is the, we know when the scaffolding is coming down?
May not.
Let me ask.
30 Broad.
I mean, I think it's fine Even with
Because
the
they're
staff.
gonna have umbrellas instead, it looks like.
Oh, he's telling me that it was removed last month.
Double what?
Is this one about Joe and the Juice?
This sounds good to me. Seems not good.
Old question.
Seconded.
All right.
All in favor?
Any no's, refusals,
Any
abstentions?
those online?
In favor of John Scott.
Thank you.
Gina?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah, thank you. Gina, I'll be in touch. Thank you.
Okay,
Bye,
thank you
Gina.
guys. Bye, good night.
Okay. Last one.
Okay.
Lucky me.
But see, you heard all the discussion, so you now you know the pitfalls. and
Now you
know
have
what-
all the right
how-
answers.
How we're moving here.
300 seats outside.
Middle of the bike lane.
Right, right.
With an overpass. So we're starting with Chinese.
Mm-hmm.
Tiny's is on West Broadway. It's been there for 16 years. We've had this, got it for 14 years. Yeah, me too. It's a 14-foot wide, 16-foot, 10-inch wide building. The cafe is 14 feet wide. We have 14 seats. Excuse me, we have 14 seats, yes.
So,
Chinese, we give 48-seat restaurant. It's open for lunch and dinner, lunch on the weekends. Does anybody have this? I'm sorry, I should have walked around and passed it out, sorry. Here's Tiny, the first one.
And then the other one is
Two.
Smith and Mills.
Yes.
Oh.
No, you might have them, or I
Like,
guess. Some you
you
have.
Yeah, well, okay.
Oh, you've got finance. I've got medicinal.
That's right.
You have it?
Smith and Mills and everything else.
Smith and Mills is next. Tiny, and we don't want to do Tiny's first.
Oh, I Smith, I've been there for Smith and.
Give it out, sorry.
I think I've been.
I know I printed them out. Oh, there they are, there they are. I'm sorry, you found me. My bad. To be lazy. That was from- That's all right. Do you always have time?
Yeah, we have.
Yes.
Thank you, thank you.
So what's up?
You have tables on the basement?
Places do that. It's a, yeah.
I just think it's bouncy.
We had a roadway seating during COVID. We hate roadway seatings. We will never file for a roadway seating exam. This
Really?
And
Why?
one place. You don't actually need them. And they become an albatross for the community. And then you have to staff them and hire people that don't make as much money. Because they don't, it doesn't work actually. But for us, if I had a 450-seat restaurant, maybe I would feel differently. I'm just kidding. I don't know how you could have so many people in Tribeca at one restaurant.
How many seats are there in the current configuration?
In the current configuration at Tiny's, it's the same. It may not actually be the same at certain times. Sometimes we don't set it up with all 14 at
But
a
it's
time.
effectively what's there.
It's what's there right now. Right now, there's an enormous scaffolding that's been there for a while, so we lost a few seats.
Right. But what's been there?
It's what's been there, yes.
Not obtrusive and.
And that's the max. When the scaffolding comes down and you're fully set up, and this is what it's gonna look like.
This is what it's gonna look like. I mean, as long as nobody gets upset at me, I'll move a table from time to time away, because the next door building has a platform that they have to, I don't know, so anyway.
You're there 16 years, no problems, everything's fine. Okay.
Everything's fully accessible and.
Yeah. And the hours are, and it's like it early.
Well, we usually, we like to close a little later. If there's business, we would close a little bit later, but yeah, we're open all day and we'll typically, close the kitchen around 10.
Okay.
But, I think our license to sell alcohol is, I believe it's till 2 a.m. I know that legally we have to shut down, like last people seated at like 11 and shut down by 12. I don't think we are ever too close to that. If you want me to.
You mean outside?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
outside.
Yeah, outside is.
Frankly, inside, inside, we're not open at 12 either, but
Okay.
like I say, if I had the business, to be honest with you, I would stay open, but there is.
Well, if something was going on in the area, you might have
Yeah, like if there was a
Some more
special,
foot traffic.
So this is correct?
let me look. Yeah.
Early. I think there were two comments on the, whatever that sheet was. One was check that there were no objections. That the person said they recall that there were complaints of back, but I'm just reading.
I love saying.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much.
But I don't know what it doesn't
Thanks
say
so
what
much. I
you're
appreciate that.
referring to, what kind of complaints.
I don't know what kind of complaint
Yeah.
we would have. We don't have any problems with any.
And then they said, I recommend the cafe sidewalk move, whatever, move back to the alignment of 10 feet from the hydrant.
It is 10.
It looks like it is already.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
understand that comment.
Yeah, I'm just.
I mean, from the picture that he gave.
Phone question.
Second.
Second.
All
All in favor?
Thank you.
Looks great. All right, everybody's in favor, okay, motion passes. I know, let's go, right?
Smith and Mills, I must have the most favorite position at Smith and Mills because we had a huge roadway cafe during COVID. Yeah. We needed it to survive, but we removed it, it wrapped the whole court. But now we have zero, we're not applying for anything.
And that was in connection with,
The other restaurant.
Eve on the corner?
Yeah, exactly.
And that, but there's no connection, no.
Well, we own Eve as well.
Oh, okay, you did.
But we're not, gonna file a roadway, thing for Eve. We're not applying for the roadway. And it was too many seats.
Okay, so this is just a sidewalk,
Yes, ma'am.
and the hours on this one?
Here, we're right off the corner. We have the hotel across the street on one side, Citibank on the other side, so it's a pretty it's not that noisy, it's Tribeca, but it's, there's a lot of traffic over there. So we stay open till, 11 and
Yeah,
12.
you had hours or two.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not, that's inside. Inside.
Oh, so-
Outside, we would do the 11 and 12. See, last 11, close at 12. Sunday, if you want me to close earlier, I'll close at 10.
And there was a bench in the picture.
Can we look at it again? Because I don't believe we have it back now.
Which,
There.
Oh, that's funny, because that, if you look at it closely, that's an interior bench. That must have been a day where we were cleaning. You could see all the tables are kind of, that's not, yeah, that
Okay.
doesn't belong out there. That's-
Just said there was a bench.
Yeah, no.
I didn't
You
say
have
where
to
it
say
was.
that. Yeah, no. It looks like we were doing some cleaning that day, because also I see stuff up there which I don't recognize. Maybe that's just trash in the top. Yeah. over
That's
there.
trash.
Do you have this many seats outside now or in recent summers?
Yeah, absolutely.
how many seats?
I mean, and they're small tables.
Yeah, these are, 6, 8, 10, 12 seats. There are 28 seats inside. Love this, very helpful.
You get 28 people in there?
Including the bar. Yeah.
So last seat
You have to be comfortable being close to your neighbor.
Yeah, get to know your.
Check that out, please.
Days 11 and 10.
So even with the tree pit, once you walk
Oh,
around,
yeah.
it's still 8 feet from the table.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, because they were talking about this comment.
This is great.
Looks one.
Yeah. I just-
Thank you.
Should be.
How many seats is it?
12, I think, is it 4, 6, 8, 10, 12?
It's a two-top table. Is it-
Two top is two seater.
Oh, okay.
You don't see both? You don't see both?
It's 4.
Is that the right one, or?
Yeah.
Oh,
There's
no,
4
this is,
and then
this is
3,
what you
3
submitted.
twos.
I need you to send me this email. Actually, no, I'll just scan this.
What is that? It's weird. That's an old one, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You want me to resend you this?
Yeah, this is what DOT sent me, so this is what they currently have. They don't have this.
That might have been when we had the enormous roadway,
Yeah,
seating area last time. Okay, so we'll send this to you.
yeah, I need.
Send this plan. They have. Can I keep the pen?
Absolutely.
Don't say we never gave you.
Yeah, exactly. It's here for a while, got a pen. And a lot of.
Yeah, you stayed all day.
Call the question.
Second.
All in favor?
Favor.
Thanks,
Any
everyone.
abstentions, recusals?
Nope.
John, you're.
John approves.
Everyone's voting in favor.
Everyone.
Okay.
Have a good night. God bless. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your patience.
My pleasure.
This is our first time doing this.
Well, was Warren 77 you guys did? Yeah, I did Warren 77 a long time ago. Yeah. Man, I love this business. That was a lot. I love this city, but take it easy on the restaurants, guys. It's hard out there.
Yeah.
But you guys have to get what you need. Thank you. See ya.
Take care.
Are we done?
Are we there yet?
We are there.
Okay, well,
Motion to adjourn?
Darn,
second.
this is actually a short meeting for us.
Although what?
Oh, my God.
Felt like, but you.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Sometimes we don't get out till
Night,
like 10.
Good night.
And I, ready to kill.
Night, everyone. Thank